Hey y'all, it's me, Niecy Lynn. This is Flosstube 74. This is Friday, February the 28th of May. If you're new here, this is a channel about cross stitch and stitching and just kind of whatever is going on in my day-to-day. And if you're not, thanks for coming to see me again. And before I forget, I want y'all to look at these beautiful earrings that Aria Kyle brought me. She came in and I'm gonna grab that box. Okay, y'all, I swear I'm coming back. I know this is insane, but I'm coming back. I've got to grab this box. This is what I forgot. Slide. She came in and said, "Sugar, I have a present for you." And so this was all wrapped up in all this tissue with all this address and everything on it, and that's not a current address, that's okay. And then it had a crayon box here, and I said, "Did you give me some crayons?" And she said, "No, Shug." And she was so proud of herself. She'd wrapped it all up, and then Mike said they'd gone into a store and she'd seen these earrings, and she said, "Mama, Shug needs those earrings." And you know, she knows the truth. These are beautiful, and I love them. So thank you, Aria Kyle. She's already a good gifter, so that's a great thing and super fun. But she was so proud of her gift and all her wrapping and everything. She's so cute. And I had the iPad. I was gonna get the iPad. I saved all these pictures to show y'all pictures of Aria's recital and Kimmy's graduation and baby Catch's new pictures of him. And then the iPad isn't here. I guess James Williams took the iPad with him to work. I don't know, because I cannot find it. It's always sitting right where he sits when we go to bed. It always sits right there, and it's not there. So I don't know what in the world happened to it, but I'll try to do them next week, because her recital was adorable and the graduation was adorable. They had the seniors, the high school seniors and the kindergarten graduates together part of the time, and it was just so cute. And I tried very hard not to cry, and I just teared up so it didn't run down my face. So I feel like I did very well. I feel like I did exceptionally well, but it was fabulous. And Marge had written, Marge Cruz had written that I'd ask about where she lived in Yoncalla, Oregon, because I thought it was a fabulous word. You know, growing up in Waxahachie, I love words like that. And she said to look up the Applegate Trail, Yoncalla, and it is super fascinating story. So if you want to do a little bit of research and learn a little today and learn a few things, look up Yoncalla, Yoncalla, and the Applegate Trail. It's a fabulous story. So thank you, Marge, for that. Char asked about the colors in my pansies. And I've got them here, and I will show them right now, and then we'll go over it again, I guess better when. But this one is, it's gonna be several weird things. There's a white, and then this color here. This is the Madeira that nobody knows the number or name of. I don't know. It is a dark purple blue. That's a pretty true color right there. I used just DMC white, DMC 4090, and DMC 4240. And it is a really cool purple and dark navy to a kind of a, nearly a dark cornflower color. And it is just beautiful, and it's worked up on those pansies. So that's what I used on those pansies, Char. Martina, who is expanding stitches on YouTube, has a new design out. It's called Patriotic House, and it is so cute. Patriotic House and Home. And you can go, she has fabulous floss tube too. I'm so behind on all my floss tubes, but hers is good. So good. And she sent it to me, and I did not get it printed off because I had to have James print my stuff the other day, and I forgot to ask him if he put new ink in, or I was just doing something wrong. So thank you, Martina. And it is so cute. It has a beautiful house and flag and all the things. So go look her up, and if you need a patriotic stitch to start this weekend, there you go, because it is adorable. Tracy had asked why I collect and stitch the Noah's Arks. I love animals, and it's so strange that I don't have an animal right now. It's the first time in my life ever, and like I told you, we always had numerous dogs and cats and all the things. We had water dragons and all kinds of fish tanks. We had numerous fish tanks always. And so here we are, first time in my life, we don't have any pets here. It's so weird. I've raised skunks and possums and all the things. And it's just so weird that we don't have anything. But like I said, when Asa passed away, we knew we were supposed to put the house on the market. So I did not want to put a dog through that. And because I would have taken him with me every time the house showed. We went and saw so many houses where people's dogs were in there. And I'm sorry, I don't trust y'all with my dogs. I wouldn't leave my kids here with y'all. I ain't gonna leave my dogs here with y'all either. So I know people do it all the time, but I'm a weirdo, okay? I'm just a weirdo. So I didn't replace him then. And then, you know, we thought, oh, we'll start traveling a lot. So, you know, maybe we'll wait a little bit. And I can still think about him and go to bawling. And y'all, he was the dumbest, ugliest little dog that ever lived. No kidding. But I loved him like crazy. He was here when all the kids left. He was here before they left. He was my replacement. Here, I'm about to cry now. Good grief. He was my replacement CJ when CJ was in the Navy. And I was crazy about him. I would have never picked that dog in a million years. But there you go. And so now I think, you know, so this thing, and I wonder, maybe I'm just too old to get over it when they go. I don't know. It's nuts. It's nuts. It's nuts. I'm sitting here about to fall. It's insane. But so I've always loved animals, Tracy, which there was another rabbit hole. We've always had tons of animals. I've always loved animals. Snakes, lizards, fish, everything. And always been crazy about them. So I always thought that Noah like had the best gig. You know, you have all the animals. I mean, except for, you know, the mermaids and the whales. I mean, you have all the good animals. You know what? I mean, mermaids and whales are fabulous, but, you know, they didn't go on the ark. So sorry about it, Noah. You missed out on a couple. But, I mean, just think about it. You had all the fabulous animals. And I know a lot of people, you know, if you don't view it as fact or whatever, still you think it's a fabulous story. Even if you're a non-believer and, you know, or you don't think it's literal or whatever, I don't care about any of that. I just always thought how fabulous that would be to have every animal right there. It'd be like you have the whole zoo to yourself. I mean, because, you know, there was him and his wife and just a couple of kids. So, which always is a pet peeve of mine, Noah and his wife. Noah may have built the ark, but we all know who kept the ark rolling. So we're going to let that alone though. But I've always thought it would be the fabulous thing. James, one time at his work, there is an aquarium in Dallas called the World Aquarium, and it is so cool. And one time for his work party, they had it after hours, just to us. So there was just like the authorities people in there. That was the best thing ever. Nobody in front of you, nobody in your way, nobody making racket. I could have lived my entire life in there. I could live in a zoo. Absolutely, I would love it. And so I've always thought that was just the best gig ever. It would be the most fabulous thing. Daddy and Annie just went to see that one they built in Kentucky. I haven't talked to them since they got back. They got back late last night. But, oh my gosh, y'all, I don't think I put this thing on. Shut up. Hold up. We're going to try this again. Here we go again. We're going to go shh, shh. Oh, Lord, y'all. Whew, I think that worked twice. Holy smoke. I have a different light, so I'm all distracted by that this morning. So I hope the lighting is somewhat okay. I'm trying to figure out a better light. So I saw this one the other day and picked it up for 20 bucks. So that's why I love Noah's Ark, because I think that would be the best gig ever if you could just have all the animals right there. Now, I know I would have hated for them to be crushed in, you know, even though it's just 40 days. But to be able to be that close to them, and I'm assuming like the Spirit of the Lord must have been over them or something, so they didn't, you know, eat Noah. I mean, Noah came out on the other side, so something must have happened in there that they were all right. And you could just have them all. Crocodiles, tigers, lions, buffaloes, I mean, panda bears, black bears, giraffes, zebras. When I was a little kid, I always wanted a zebra. I always wanted to ride. If I had a zebra and I could ride it, I always thought that would be the best thing ever. So I love Noah's Arks because I love animals, and I always think that would be the best gig of all time. To have them all to yourself just there on the ark would be fabulous. So that's why I love Noah's Arks, because I always thought it would be the most fun, fabulous thing ever in the world. So hence my ark love. Audrey Stitchywitch 42, she said her son's school had breakout programs for different learners, and I'm loving that more schools are doing that. Waxahachie is opening up a STEM academy, and my friend Sarah's son made it into that. And so I'm loving that we're beginning to say, hey, we don't all learn the same way, and that's okay. And let's try to start working in the way that some of these other kids work better. I just think we're missing out on a lot of opportunity and frustrating a lot of people for no reason. So for what it's worth, so Audrey, that makes me super happy. Debbie says, which another thing I forgot to grab. What is wrong with me this morning? I think I can, let me see if I can, nope, they're not. I'll just set them right here. Oh Lord, hold please, once again. I'm a wreck this morning. Good grief, y'all. Nothing wrong with me that a brand new brain wouldn't cure. I've asked for one for several years for Christmas. I ain't got it yet, so oh well. But this one, the Silent Night here, this guy, she says Feathered Stitches on YouTube, that there's two of them stitching it, and they're in different parts of it. They, you know, different places stitching it. So it's a beauty. So y'all check that out. And okay, Adrian and Veronica and Monica, y'all talked about, we're talking about bologna, and y'all talked about fried bologna sandwiches, and y'all, that got me laughing because my cousin Robbie loved fried bologna sandwiches. Loved them. And it didn't matter what my mama fixed for dinner, 99% of the time he wanted a fried bologna sandwich. Now, 90% of the time, maybe 95, my granny would not make him a separate fried bologna sandwich, but his mama would. His mom would always make him one, and I can remember when y'all said fried bologna, I immediately thought of Robbie. I haven't got to see him in a couple years. Maybe this summer we can see him. I do talk to his sister and his mama occasionally. They don't live too far, but of course we haven't seen him since COVID. But so Robbie Coleman, wherever you are out there, I would love to see you, and I hope you still get all the fried bologna sandwiches you want. Y'all, that just cracked me up. I hadn't thought about that in forever. Elizabeth says she uses sour cream because we talked about I don't like mayonnaise. Yuck, it's slimy. But I know a lot of y'all love it, and that's fine. It takes all kinds. She says she uses sour cream in her potato salad instead of mayo because she hates it like me. And it made me think there was a place when I was pregnant with Keely in town, and it was called Pawnee's Diner. And he had potato salad, and it was white. Y'all, it was white like the back of this. I mean, it was white. That potato salad was white. And it was real oniony, and it was so good. And I ate tons of it when I was pregnant with Keely. And I think that's why his hair's white, because all that. I guess it was sour cream. I never thought about it, but it didn't taste like, it wasn't mayo-y. Because usually a lot of people's potato salad, I'm like, I'm out. Because it's real slimy mayo-y. But I bet that's what they did too. And it was so good. And Michelle and Judith and several of y'all, like I said, I just told y'all about the recital pics. I'll try to get them next week. I had them saved so I could just open it up and flip through in the photos, but the iPad has gone walking somewhere. And Judith and several of y'all down there in South Louisiana, there's, and even south here down toward Houston, some of y'all have got even more rain than us. And I am praying for y'all because it is, we got another 1.25 inches, I think, last night. But Mike and them's house did not flood last night with another inch. So hopefully they have started getting a cap on the drainage issues. And Sally, who is Tool Studios, T-U-L-E, I probably say that wrong, was talking about making blackberry hand pies. And, you know, it's like a fried pie, but it's not fried. Y'all do that? A hand pie, you have a little circle of pie crust, and you put the filling on there, and then you fold it over and smash around the edge like that. Well, but it made me think about my mama making sugar pies. When we were out of fruit or whatever, and she said that's what they would do when they were out of fruit, they would just make sugar pies. And so you would have the pie crust, and she would just put some sugar and cinnamon in the inside and fold it over and bake it in the oven. And it was so good. I love sugar pies. But, you know, what could be wrong? Pie crust and sugar? What could be wrong with that? Nothing, nothing. I'm sure when you get to heaven, they'll be passing you out a sugar pie. When you get, if you make it to the gate, it'll be like, here, come on in. Here's a sugar pie. Woohoo! I'm in. I'll be sweeping the streets, but y'all know I'm in. That's okay. Nanette, you were talking about your undercover husband. I was dying laughing because I'd said that James Williams makes Mama nervous. Like I said, he's big and he stomps around and he never looks very happy. I took a picture of him when he got the Candyland for the girls. He said, take a picture of this and send it to him. He looks like a killer. He's smiling. That looks so bizarre on his face because you don't see it very often. That it's like, it's a little disturbing. But he is smiling, and so, you know, I'm gonna take it. I'll take it when I can get it. But talked about husband being an undercover police. So, you know, he looked different depending on, you know, what he was working on or whatever. And that her mama told her aunt that she was going out with all kinds of different men because her husband looked different every time. That's fabulous. I loved it. One of CJ's friends' dad was an undercover officer, and he always looked like, well, Jesus. You know, you'd see, we didn't see him that often down there, but when we did, you know, his hair was like super long. He had the mustache, the beard, and everything. And at that time, none of us, you know, we were younger, so our hair wasn't great. And I always thought he looked just like Jesus. Not like the Jesus in my granny's picture at the garden gate. Y'all seen that picture of Jesus at the gate at the garden? And he's got blonde hair and blue eyes. And when I was a little kid, I always thought he would look very beautiful. But then when you get to be grown, you're like, Jesus didn't look like that. Whatever. I don't know about these things, but they crack me up. So thank you, Nanette, because I was dying. I was dying, and I hope you still ain't running around with all them men. Oh, I loved it. Audrey sent us some more sayings, since we all love sayings and everything. And so these are Ireland sayings. And scary biscuits. When something, she said, like she had a job interview and it was like, So when any kind of mishap or anything kind of wrong or bad, it's like scary biscuits. And I would think, because I would like, when I say like, oh, scary, like when, you know, you see a creepy person, or when somebody's telling you about something wretched, you go, scary. So scary biscuits, I like that. And then she said, they will say like, I'm away up to town to get my messages. And that means you're going grocery shopping. And I don't understand. I could think packages, but the messages to the groceries, I ain't getting the relation there. But, you know, we always relate things to different things for some reason. So I love when she shares these with us, because I love to know that other places say things that are just kind of different and don't really, you know, wow, how'd that ever get started? How did anybody ever get started saying that? I don't even know. But Tara was asking about, I was talking about Dottie. And Dottie is stitching Scotty on Flosstube. She has adorable Flosstube, and of course she doesn't talk fast and crazy like me, so you can understand her a little better probably than me. But she's stitching Scotty, and she has a beautiful Flosstube, and she shows what she stitches, and like I said, she talks more at a normal pace than I do. So I hope you find her and enjoy her. And then Tara also comes to Katy to see her grandbabies, and that's where CJ and Juanita live. So I am so happy that we're closer there. They're coming up this weekend. One of their friends having some kind of a birthday or something, and they're having a prom-themed party. So CJ and Juanita she's got her a prom dress, and he's, going to be in a suit. I'm going to make him a boutonniere and a corsage. And so they are going to go, I'm going to take their awkward prom pictures out here in the yard, if it's not pouring down rain. And I love it. I love that they still have fun, that their group will have fun and not take themselves so seriously and pick a theme for a party and run with it. That makes me crazy happy. Sue, I think James Williams, she said her grandpa or uncle would order pizza with anchovies on it so that nobody else would eat it. That sounds like something James Williams would do, because he don't want nobody else eating his food. He is like crazy insane about it. Like when he would bring home takeout boxes and the kids lived at home, he would write on the top with a Sharpie, "Do not touch, keep out," and put a skull and crossbones and "this is Dad's" and all this to keep anybody from eating his food. Now I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if y'all come to my house, you can eat the food. If you're guest enough to be inside my home, you can have anything I have in here to eat. That does not, however, go for James Williams. You can't have his food. Don't be getting his leftovers. CJ will come in after they've got in, if they drive up from Katy, he'll come in and get in the refrigerator. And James will be like, "You passed 87,000 eating places on the way here, and it's 10 o'clock at night and you're looking in the refrigerator?" And I'm like, "Yes, it's his mama's refrigerator. He's supposed to be getting in there and seeing if there's anything he wants." But James Williams don't feel that way, y'all. So I think he would order pizza with anchovies on it to keep somebody else from eating it. And Adrienne said that she has done the Prairie Schooler Christmas arc on 32 count, and she said it's humongous still. Adrienne, let me know, Niecy Lynn at Yahoo, and y'all, if y'all ever, Niecy Lynn at Yahoo, just send an email, and it takes me forever because I'm horrible about it, but I will find it. So if you don't have an Instagram, if you do, let me know so I can see it, because I want to see it stitched up. I would love it. So let me know. Rita says, Rita, if putting that Christmas tree up will cheer you up, I mean, we're still in, lots of places aren't opened up at all. We're still not, getting to see each other like we want, do all the things we want. Rita, if it makes you happy to put that Christmas tree up, girl, you put that tree up. Put it up, put it right in the middle of the living room, tell everybody else to walk around it. Whatever it takes to cheer us up. And even when it's not pandemic weirdness, y'all, if it makes you happy to dress up like those little Lolita people on TV, I seen that yesterday, I was watching, they were so cute. I'd seen some of them before, but they like to dress up like out of little fairy tale books or whatever, and they all get together and go together. And they look so cute. And whatever it takes to make you happy, if that makes those people happy to put on those little cute outfits and go out and whatever, do it. Do it. I cannot understand us not doing what we want just because somebody else says something. My friend Peggy used to say, listen, if somebody's talking about me, it's taking the heat off somebody else for a while. Well, there you go. Take the heat off somebody else for a while and do what you want and give everybody something to talk about. And I think that's the truth. Okay, Nicole and Sue helped me out here because I had to go back to my kindergarten brain. Nicole was talking about they ate crab apples, but you couldn't eat too many of them. They'd make sick stomach, okay? And I thought, I didn't know you could eat those. Because when I was a kid in kindergarten, there was a tree by my kindergarten. And it had green bumpy things on it, and one of the kids said it was crab apples. And after I've thought about it, I don't think, and it's really like an Osage orange is what it is after I looked it up. But I don't think there's any more around anywhere I've ever lived. I've never noticed them. You see them in the ditch and stuff. And so Nicole said, I think you're thinking about a hedge apple. And that made me think I think I've heard people call them horse apples. So Sue helped me out and said, yeah, they're horse apples around here. But when I was a little kid in that kindergarten class, somebody said that they were crab apples and they were chunking them and got in trouble. You know, it was boys, and you know, it was David Ingram. He always got in trouble. And y'all, it's so funny because when Keely started wrestling in junior high age, this man was sitting across, and now I went to kindergarten with him, and then I'd never seen him again since, okay? They moved off somewhere. I think his daddy was a preacher, was why. And you know what they say about the preacher's kids, you know, naughty. But, of course, they say they're naughty from playing with the deacon's kids, but I wouldn't know a thing about that, but whatever. But, y'all, I'm sitting there, and I see this man across, and I'm looking at him, and I'm thinking, my God, that's David Ingram. That little bad boy. He was so bad, my mama would always not want, like if she went on a field trip, she would not want to get him in her group. She always did. You know, when you're thinking bad things like that, you always get it. And because he would, like, at the zoo, he ran and hid in the trash can. And then when we went to the Burleson Honey, which there's a big honey company in Waxahachie, he was always hiding. And he was like Houdini level expert, okay? And so he waited till they did the final count of all the kids as they're getting on the bus, you know, and then he somehow snuck off and hid. Well, then we get back to the schoolhouse and can't even find David Ingram. Nowhere. Where's he at? So they call back to the honey place and they go to looking for him, and he's got stuck in the freezer like froze to death before he got found. But he was a little naughty. He was always into something, always. And my mama would just be like, and she would get him in her group every time. But he looked, you know, there are people like that look exactly the same. He looked exactly the same. Because we're talking, y'all, 45 years or so. 40 to 45 years. And we're that age, and I knew when I was 5. So I guess 40 years in between. 35 to 40 years in between. And I looked across that gym and I walked over there and I said, "You're David Ingram, aren't you?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "You were in my kindergarten class and you were always naughty." And he died laughing. He died laughing. He said, "Oh my gosh, how did you recognize me?" I said, "You look identical. You look exactly the same." He had not changed one iota. You could have put his driver's license photo and his kindergarten photo side by side. You'd have thought those took 2 days apart. It was crazy. It was crazy, y'all. But he was then one of the naughty ones throwing the horse apples, which are actually horse apples or Osage orange trees. So there you go. There's another rabbit hole, and kudos to the people like David Ingram who still look the same after 35 years. Dead ringer. Nuts. And Vicki in Kansas said, when I was in I showed y'all my stitchy chair last week over there. She said, "I need me a smoking jacket and a pipe, and then I can host the PBS mystery, the Masterpiece Theater." If I had $1 for every hour I've spent in my life watching PBS Masterpiece Theater or PBS Mysteries, I could probably never hit a lick again, and we could all buy all the stitchy supplies we wanted, because I am a PBS junkie. I love it. So I would love to host the Masterpiece Theater. It would be fabulous. And Cherry, you're right. A tortilla is just a piece of bread. You can put anything on a tortilla that you would put on bread. You can put a hot dog on it. You can put peanut butter and jelly on it. You put peanut butter banana on it. Anything you can put on a piece of bread, you can put on a tortilla, because the tortilla is just a better piece of bread, let's be honest. It's a fabulous piece of bread. And around here at the H-E-B, you can get, and y'all, if I haven't had these, and I don't know if they have them anywhere else, but they're so good. H-E-B makes their own tortillas. They're in the grocery, okay? But they make some that are called mixla, and they're half flour and half cornmeal mixed together. So good. Y'all, it's so good. So if you can find those anywhere, try them, because they are excellent. We had walking tacos for family night this week, so we, it was going to be walking tacos, and we ended up making it just regular tacos, but we still call them walking tacos. Whatever. I had chicken and ground beef and 7-layer dip, and I love a good tortilla. There's nothing better. Nothing better. Jane was looking for a needle guide because, you know, like if you don't put them right back, you don't know what size they are, right? And it's hard to keep it straight. And in my mind, yes, there should be some kind of like a guide for millimeters and things. I did find on John James Needles, which is jjneedle.com, jjneedles.com. They have things you can print off on there, and it says that when you print them, it's the actual size, and so then you can go down and, you know, try to matchy uppy. I didn't print any because, like I said, I'm not sure about if the printer is working or not, but I thought that was a genius idea, and such a good thing because I'm the same way. I stick them in, you know, the little thread thing, and then I have a million needles on there. So then I just try one. If it's too big, I try another one. But yes, if there was a way to resize them and put them in your needle book like you were a person who had any sense, that would be fabulous. And I would probably not do it on the regular like I should, but then I could go through and resort them. That's what I need. So I'm going to try getting him to print one off and see how that works. And I'll let y'all know. Y'all, I am sorry. I have so much junk in my throat this morning. I don't know what's going on. Linda was talking about reading books and then sometimes picking up a book at the library and it being so tiny. And, you know, you can put those things. I have a thing that goes right there that you can read with. I don't think it works very good for me. But, and she talked about liking ebooks. And I love me an ebook. And if you don't have, like, our library here, so I assume all area libraries have it because I know it's area or statewide at least. In Texas, if you have your library card, you can use it to check out books online, ebooks. And so I use my Kindle to read on there. And it's called Libby. The app I use is called Libby. And I download the book and you can listen or I read it on my Kindle, but it's fabulous. So ask at your library because then if you get it on the ebook, you know, you can size it and make the print bigger. I love to hold a real book in my hand, but there are 1,000 advantages to an ebook. So for what it's worth, y'all ask about ebooks at your library if you're having problems with the print being too small. Which, I'm going to hold my finger here so I don't forget to come back to Kelly. But Ernie is reading Skinny House, and she said it's excellent. And so I'm going to try to check out Skinny House next. And I am reading The Disappearing Moon Cafe, I think is the name of it. It is so good. I'm loving it. So those are 2 books right now to read. She said The Skinny House is kind of an old, set in like an older time and about a Black experience. And Disappearing Moon Cafe is about Asian, well, I don't know. Yeah, somebody got to chime in on this because it's Asian American Pacific Islander month right now in the U.S. But in here, you say Asian American. Y'all say Asian Canadian because it's based in Canada. The story starts there in Canada. So I don't know if y'all call them, I don't know. I don't know about these things. I always say the wrong thing. Micah's had to help me so many times. She said, Mom, you don't say that anymore. I'm like, oh, Lord have mercy. So I don't know if it's like the Asian Canadian experience. I don't know. So somebody let me know about that. But anyway, it is an excellent book, and it's set after the railroad has been built, the Pacific Canadian Railroad there, and they've sent, it's in the 20s, and then it's even older because they've sent this guy back to try to find the bones of the Chinese men who passed while they were working on the railroad, been in the railroad. I didn't even know about any, I knew millions of men died when they did things like that, but some of the benevolent societies would send them back to try to get the bones and bring them back for decent burials. So it's a very interesting story, and it spans over a couple of lifetimes, in together. So it's really good. I'm enjoying it. So Skinny House and the Disappearing Moon Cafe. So there you go. Kelly, please congratulate Mason on his driver's license and his perseverance for sticking it out and if you're on the spectrum and you have learning differences, it just makes it harder. And, you know, people say, oh, you'll never do this, you'll never do that. I love that he's got his driver's license and that he has a job doing wedding photography. Bebe does wedding photography, all kinds of photography. She loves doing weddings. She loves it. So congratulations, Mason. Linda is looking for Liberty House by Blackbirds to borrow or buy. I had to look, I couldn't think what it looked like. It's the one with the blue house with the roof that's like short and then long like this, like that. And it has a tree and it has the buntings under the windows. If anybody has it, Linda's looking for it, holler. Long Dog Stitcher says she sleeps in the black too. Like she likes to sleep in the dark. So when she goes to her mother-in-law, she has to hang towels up over the windows to try to get the dark out. So that's something to think about. That is absolutely, I may end up that again. We went to the doctor yesterday with Mama, and they said that she would be okay to try spending the night over here because Sister leaves again on Sunday, Saturday or Sunday. And it's gone till Wednesday or Thursday, one or the other, but that it would be okay to try her sleeping over here, and that we could set a camera up in the house over there, because Sister's at the studio a lot of times, and you know, before it was fine because nobody came to the door or anything. We worry about salesmen and people like that. And so they said, you know, set a camera up, call and check on her regular, but that we could leave her still for short periods by herself, that was still okay, because we were concerned, you know, when do you know not to? And of course that's so frustrating for her sitting there while we're discussing things. And I'm like, Mom, I'm sorry. I know this is horrible, but we have to ask the doctor. We don't know what to do. We don't want to do something that's not okay. You know, when something happened to you, you get hurt or something like this. So they said, you know, for even a couple of hours, she said, you know, 2 or 3 hours, she would be okay if she got checked on regularly during that time. You know, if you called her and talked to her, this. So she has the sweetest doctor. Dr. Malil is so sweet and just quite honest with us. And she said, you know, of course I could say this and something could change tomorrow and it not be okay. And of course, if she's having an episode, you know, but she does, you know, they're pretty far apart, and they added a new medicine in that we're going to try with her, Namenda. So, hopefully that will continue to help with that. So now I've got all distracted here. Now we're going to, I've got things written down in a weird order, but we're going to do Happy Mail. I got all the fun Happy Mail this week. And I'm going to show y'all this. This wasn't mail, but the girls had their watercolors out and were painting for me this week when they were here. So we had painting sessions. So we had all the fun with our painting. So that was Happy Mail that didn't have to come through the mail. So then I got all the fun things this week, y'all. Y'all are so sweet, and I got all the fun things, and we're going to share some of them out immediately. But this here, I want to be sure. I try to be sure I don't show. Yes, it has no address on it. From Jackie, I got this. How cute is this? And this bag here, and she asked for my address and said she's going to be sending. Y'all, this is the coolest thing. She went to the Midwest Stritchers retreat, and she said she was not going to finish these. And so she sent the whole, y'all, this is the whole finishing kit here. And then she has stitched one of these beauties. Let me see the easiest way to show this. Can I show us her picture on here? So like here, I'm trying to fold it like this a little bit. So she sent the patterns for all 3 of the things, and all the threads and all the finishing things. And look, she's already got one of them done. And these are beautiful color and cottons. God, these are gorgeous colors on here. And she's already done one. I got the jump start even. So Jackie, I'm so excited. Thank you so much. I didn't start working on it yet. I will probably start working on the second one for my Memorial Day. I always say the wrong thing. Memorial Day, because we're remembering our service people who gave the ultimate this weekend. But I always say the wrong word. So there's all the patterns and the finishing kit. So all three of these, which I picked up this pattern last week. So I will probably share it next week because I will, I have these here. So there's like the board and everything in here. So thank you so much, Jackie. That was like super crazy fun to open up. I was like, oh my gosh. And then this, y'all, I am so congested. Jude sent this is so cute, and I'm gonna try to be careful with it. I'm gonna put it on here so you can see it. So she sent me this beautiful card, and then look at this, so pretty. And it's on perforated paper, which I've never been brave enough to try. Someday maybe. But it is beautiful with the beads and the satin stitches, and it is, in the back stitch, it is gorgeous. So I love this. Thank you, Jude. And then I got to all these fun, all the rest of the fun in the package. Like that wouldn't have been fun enough right there. I'm gonna try to set that right there. There were all these patterns in there. So there is, which I have stitched the very initial one of these. There's the Let's Talk Winter, which is different than the one I did because I did the one out of the calendar. And it has these littles in here that I love. And then there's, let me set this way, the spring one. So each one of these has the three, these are hands-on designs, Let's Talk series, and this one is spring. And it has the little medallion and the little pillow, and then this adorable design. Kathy, these are so cute. And then Hello Autumn. Here. Look how cute that is. Oh, so cute. And then another hands-on design, Stitch in the Garden. And it has one of the little square things like this, and then it's got, it's not really a square because it's not a total square, but it's got the little thing all the way around, a scissor fob, and then the little stitchy dish. This is what I call it, tray. They call it a tray. This is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So cute. And it has the little, I don't know if y'all can see this. Here, the little tomato, and it has the little piece of wool for the tomato. So cute. So, so cute. And let's see what else is in here, Jude. Winter Row, which, y'all, this needs to be stitched into a drum. I don't know if somebody's probably already done this, but this needs to be a drum like that. So cute. Winter Row by Bent Creek. And I think these are still all available. I still see Winter Row around in shops. And then I love these, she knows I love these heart and hands, all these little hearts. And so she sends 4 collector hearts here. This one is the 2005. Y'all know 2005? I better get some more coffee when we get done here. The collector's heart from 2005. It says Tender Heart, and it's so cute. Y'all, these are so cute. If you've never seen any of these are adorable. And this one, you can't really see it. It's a 2000. I don't know if it'll show. Oh, it does show up through there. How cute is that? 2000 from Heart and Hand. This is 2001. Put the little jobbers right on top of it. Let me pull it out and go this way with it. Of course. Did I think to do this ahead of time? No. 2000 and, what is that, 1 from Heart and Hand. These are so cute. Oh, love me some hearts. And then the 1999 one, it's in a little pouch. Does it have a separate picture on here? No. It came in this little sack. How cute is that? And it's got little satin stitches over here on the side. I don't know if y'all can tell those are satin stitches. So cute. So, thank you so much, Jude. I will be Did I get all those done right? Yes, 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 yes. Y'all, the Happy Mail this week, I was like, holy moly. All the fun things. Okay, now here we go. We'll get this card out. This beautiful card. Be sure I don't show anything I'm not supposed to. How beautiful is that card from Patty? Look at there, that sparkly sunflowers, and then she's got a little sunflower out. It's like felt, and a little button and everything on there. So cute. Which cards make me think of Anne. Anne, I hope you're feeling better. I'll be checking on you later, but I have been thinking about you all week. So I got that beautiful card from Patty, and then I opened up this. There's this beautiful Debbie Mum kit. Look at that teapot. Y'all know I love me a teapot. And then from Country Cottage Needleworks, there is Spring Has Sprung, which is so cute, and the April Sampler of the Month. How adorable is that? So, so cute. And then there's these two fat quarter shops. So She Did. How cute is that with the tomato and sewing machine? So cute. And then this one is Santa Baby. And this one, one of y'all is stitching this, and I can't remember who. And it is on blue. So it's on a blue, and then you stitch his little beard and everything is all white. I couldn't decide if you stitched the blue and he was just white, but his beard is stitched white and he's on a blue background. But he is so cute, and he is called Santa Baby. And those are both, I think, no, I'm sorry, I'm lying. This is It's So Emma. I don't know why I thought this was a fat quarter shop. It is. Oh, it is. I'm not lying. I thought, oh my gosh, I thought I saw fat quarter shop on here somewhere. But it is so cute, Santa Baby by It's So Emma. So adorable. And then this thing on here. Look at this. And Patty, if you stitched this and finished it and I haven't seen it yet, you got to slap me, because when I see people stitching this, I nearly faint. Let Freedom Ring by Lila Studio. This is so beautiful. And one of y'all stitching on it right now, but I can't think of who. This thing is holy moly gorgeous. So gorgeous. Incredible. Incredible. And then I got one more Happy Mail, and it was from Zan. And Zan, congratulations to your son. He is on the spectrum. She said he has Asperger's, and he is a junior in college. And it makes it so hard. And my handwriting is terrible too, Zan. But she sent me this beautiful card, and she said, I've been meaning to send it to you forever. You see, it's a Thanksgiving card. That don't matter to me. I'm thankful that I have y'all. Somebody could send me a Thanksgiving card any time of the year, and I'd be happy, happy. These two Lizzie Kates, these little adorable Santas. This one is called Where's the Party? How cute is that? And this one is Old School Santa 2016. And he is so cute. He says, I'm old school and I like to hear people say Merry Christmas. He's so cute. And the other one says, Where's the Party? And those are two Lizzie Kates. So they're all at 1, 2, 3 stitch. I think they're trying to get all of them on there. And then this adorable Hey Pumpkin, and it's a fat quarter shop from It's So Emma, from Patty. So cute. And this, I think, is stitched on 10 count. That 10 count burlap. And it is, so if you have, you know, and you can stitch any pattern on there. But this with this really limited color palette and that burlap color, that is so cute. That is adorable. And then Quilters Cottage, It's So Emma by Fat Quarter Shop. And of course, you can change the colors of your house to suit, you know, to be more like your house if you want to. It is so cute. Oh, here's the back side. I'm showing you the part. How cute is that? And if you didn't want the letters, you know, you could just bump that up. Or if you didn't want the quilts, you could just leave the letters. Or you could just stitch this or the letters. You can do it however, but it is fabulous. And just guessing, This and this are about the same height. You could stitch this and put one of these down here and one of these down here and make it into a drum. I mean, y'all take the patterns and use them, you know, how you want or what you need. I'm pretty sure I'm safe in saying the designers love, as long as you stitch it, they're happy. And these little guys are so dang cute. And some of these just came in, they came in yesterday. These are the ones that came in yesterday, I think. Or the day. 2 of them came yesterday and 2 of them were the day before. Halloweenies by Plum Street. Look at those little guys. And I really do need to stitch that for my friend Melanie. She has a weenie dog and has had, I think she's had several over the years, but she has a weenie dog and a cat, and it is so, they're so cute. So Halloweenies. My cousins always had them when we were growing up. I'm trying to get these all put back in the right way here. And then we are going to, I have not opened this. This came in the mail this week. So this is the only haul I have. Keepsakes 2022. See if I can bust this puppy open and we'll see what's on here. If my fingers would work. Now I'm trying to rip the plastic with that dull side of these scissors because I don't want to mess my scissors up, but and now I'm gonna sneeze. Oh my gosh, and I'm stripping this and I haven't done my whips yet. Y'all, we're going long today. I guess I'm very talkative. Okay, is it easier to show it in here? No, these have the pattern, so it's easier to show it through here. Okay, oh, they're all on one page. So there is, let's just open it up and go that way with it because that'll be bigger pictures. So this is the Keepsake cross stitch from 2022. Oh, so cute. Oh, how cute is that gingerbread, Victorian gingerbread. So all these, the pattern is in the pattern book that you get with it. I've been getting these for years, and some, I don't know that I ever stitch any, but I always love them. How cute are those guys? That's the January. This is black work and it is February and it is beautiful. I love that. I love black work. Micah has the black work piece up finished. Oh, look at her. She's beautiful. Cherry blossom. How pretty is she? She is beautiful. This is April. Oh, you have all these adorable birds. And all the purple. Aria would approve. And this is, oh, I skipped somebody. Hold on. Somebody stuck together. Because there's April. Oh, May, you have these beautiful lavender field. Look at that. That is beautiful. And that looks like, that is a full coverage piece. But it doesn't appear to be too horribly huge. So if you wanted to try one, that would probably be going to start. This is June. How cute is that? How does your garden grow with all the veggies and the flowers and the implements on there? So cute. July is, oh, look at that sailboat. There we go. Y'all have to let me know what you think about the new light, if it's better or worse. Or July, look at that cute truck. Let's see, right there maybe. No. There. It does reflect it a lot, doesn't it? There we go, maybe. That's cute. I'll have to figure out how to work around the thingy thing. This is September. Oh, it's like a fairy tale thing. So it has 3 on there. And October. Ooh, these are all cute. These are Ursula Michaels. And these normally don't come out. Once they're in the calendar, you can't get them anywhere else. So if you want any of these, I think you have to get the calendar. Normally, they don't ever get to re-release them. So you have the kitty cat, and the wolf, and the owl, and then the house scene down there. And I'll tell you what to call if you want it or whatever. November. Awesome Pattern Studio. Look at the colors in that, are so pretty. I was trying to see, it doesn't have any backstitch. So if you want a non-backstitch piece that's very pretty in fall colors, that's gorgeous. And then December, it has these adorable deer by Doreen Jones. How cute are they? I love it. Love, love, love it. So that is the Keepsake calendar for 2022. And it comes with the instructions are all, and the patterns are all in a separate little book. But it says on here somewhere, it'll tell us what we're supposed to do. Okay. It costs $24.93 with shipping and everything. And I believe there's probably an 800 number right there. So, Keepsake. Oh, and that just showed y'all my address. Don't come kill me. If you do, you better come loaded for bear. 322-061-0691. So 800-322-0691 right there. So that, and it's $24.93 and you get 13, well, actually some of them have more than one on each one. So there's about 15 patterns, I guess. But I mean, they're very detailed, the patterns. I'll show you just a little piece so you'll see. See, I mean, it's a good size. It's a good, you can't see the bottom of that, so you can't do anything with it, but they're all very nicely done. Cheryl McKinnon is the fairy tale one. They're fabulous, but they're all very clear, very well printed. So if you're interested in that, it's $24.93. It came in the mail this week. So, okay, now we're finally gonna get to whips. Lord of mercy, y'all. I've been going on forever. Okay, first whip, Wild Hedgerow House. And we talked about the colors for the pansies earlier. Here. So these guys here are what I use for that pansy, and we talked about those earlier. And so this week I did the pansy and the house and the other flower and a little bit of back stitching. I've been trying to make myself do just a little bit of back stitching each time. This is on Be Stitch Me Toast. I'm not using her colors because I don't want to change like my thread 1,000 times. So I'm using variegated floss. A lot of it, that is a Wicked Stepmother, I think it's Sweet Potato. And this one is I Want Candy. And I just love that little color combination there. But it is gorgeous. This is a beautiful design. It is in all the Jane Greenoff sampler books, or there is a link in the description to go straight to her site and get it. But it's called Wild Hedgerow House Sampler by Jane Greenoff. And that is in her colorway. And you can see there are so many thread changes. Each one of, like, this has 3 or 4 colors in it. Same thing on the leaf under it, 3 or 4 colors. And each one of these has 1 purple and then 2 or 3 colors. And that's too much for me. I don't enjoy changing threads that much and hopping around like that. That does not mean fun for me. So I just don't do it because, you know, that's how I am. And my threads for it are here. And I opened up those scissors to open that deal up, and they're a hot mess right now. That's just some of them kind of wound around there. That red is in there right there. And I'm loving working on this. It is a lot of detail, but it's so cute. Noah and Co, where'd he go? Lord mercy, I got a mess here. Let's just go this way then. This is Summer Jubilee. And one of y'all said y'all couldn't find it. It's August 2003. And it says just cross stitch on this next page. So it's the just cross stitch in August 2003. So I don't know if maybe they sold out of them for the books. I don't know. But it is also in Souvenirs of Summer. It's in this book. So if you, this book has this and all these beauties in it. So Souvenirs of Summer is absolutely worth the plunge. And I am, of course, changing up all the colors because I didn't have them and because I don't like, I just grab what I like. So these are the colors I'm using for it so far. And for comparison, you can see. There is, this is mine. And then here is, so it's just a totally different kind of a colorway for it. I even, you know, because the background color changed, I had to change a lot. And I am loving stitching on it. It is beautiful. I got, I think this flower and this right here done this week. And I think I had half the butterfly done. So I think I finished the butterfly and went out this way and all this week. I can't remember if I did the XYZ already. I think I might have done that this week too, but this is Picture This Plus Ancient maybe? I think. Love this fabric. It is beautiful. And then we have, get you out the way. This is my Jessie Watson. This is a stitch along with Raspberry Stitcher. And I need to finish a little bit of my border to stay on target, but it's Jessie Watson. It is a Hands Across the Sea. I did the download for it. It's very clear. You get a lot of information with it. You get a lot of different ways to print it. I mean, it really is nice. And she is beautiful. I decided not to do all the colors. I don't know why, I just didn't. I liked it better like this. So to get finished for the end of May, I need to just do my little right here to keep me on target. And it is beautiful. This is 32 count Golden Needle maybe from Floss and Fabrics, Jubilee. I'm loving it. It is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So Barbara is a Raspberry Stitcher, and she's doing a stitch along on her group and on her Flosstube, and she breaks it all down and marks it, you know, on the, so you see what all we're supposed to stitch every month. And I love that we're stitching part of the border as we go. That way I don't get stuck doing all the whole border, because that ain't my idea of a good time. And these are my colors so far. And I'm loving it. These are so pretty. These are mainly my Wicked Stepmothers. I've got Flesh of My Flesh, Blue Velvet, Holly Jolly Christmas, Little Red Riding Hood? Yeah, Little Red Riding Hood, Rose Garden, Spooky, and Hey Jude. And then I've got DMC 336, which was left over from my May Health and Peace, and DMC 937, and then Classic Colorwork Old Blue Jeans are what I'm using on it so far, and I am having so much fun with it. Noah & Co. by Heartstrings. I got a good bit done on it this week. It is so cute. This is adorable. I cannot wait to finish it and get it with my other. But it's Heartstrings, and you'll have to get it on the secondary market. They do come up some, just not, you know, all the time. But it is adorable. I'm just picking my colors as I go along. And yes, that is we talked about this last week, changing these over to floss cards or floss tags, whatever you want to call them. Some people iron them. I haven't been. I've never had a problem with mine not pulling, with it looking kinky when I stitched it, you know, with it keeping it wound up, because this is that gray right there is this gray here. And so you can see it's not bumpy at all. It comes out just fine. So I don't know. And I'm just picking the colors, changing them up as I go. I had this little roof right here white, and it mixed in too much, so I pulled it out and changed that little top, what is it, 6, 7 stitches to gray. And I like that better. And so it is moving right along, because they had it 2 colors of green, but I just stitched this week with the gray and the red. And so then I'll do the big checkerboard this week. Patterns like that, you know, where you're stitching, it is a big block of stitching, but once you get your outline done, you can just fill in, and it's so fast. So I'm hoping to get this section here with the checkerboard done this week. And I am having so much fun stitching this guy. It is so cute. I love that it's busy and all the patterns, and you know, I love that it's Noah because, well, I always wanted to be Noah. If it was me, I would be Noah, and then it would be Noah and her husband. I wanted to name CJ Noah, but James won the bet, so he got to name him. I was gonna name him Noah, so there. But I would be Noah, and then I would say Noah and her husband. That's how I would do that, because I think Noah is a beautiful girl's name too, for what it's worth. Then I stitched on my Bittersweet Season. This is so cute. Oh my gosh. Lisa Kinder Stitcher, I will love her forever for letting me see this in the background and loving it. Loving it. And this is on 28 count because I couldn't pull the fancy flosses, not the fancy flosses, the like glittery ones, the chronics. I could not get them through the 32. It was just ripping it apart, even though with a bigger needle, it was just kind of catching on it, and I was afraid it was going to be all humpity and ugly. So I'm not doing a lot of the specialty stitches or the beads till I'm done. So this section should be satins, and then a lot of these have beads, and then overs. I did do one so you could see what it would all be. A lot of these have little back stitching on top. You can see it has little, and this one's not showing up at all, but there's black stripes that are real shiny in there. I'm not crazy about stitching with those flosses, but it's okay. But so I've got down to, that block is, where are we at on here? Right there, I think. No, the big block right here, kind of close to my finger, is this one here. Oh my gosh, right there. So then they'll have satin stitches in between that, but it is so cute. I am loving this thing. It's fabulous fun stitch. And I'm using the called fours, and the chronics are in the little bag. I don't, but it only has like 6 flosses. And then there's like 3 chronics, but it's so cute. And then I started my Happy Birthday America. And these are the called fours. Kim just pulled them for me at the Stitch and Itch. She just grabbed them out and did the substitution for the Grecian Gold, which I know is a hot commodity right now. She did a Ye Olde Gold by Classic Colorworks. And for grits, she did, let me see, Antique Lace by Classic Colorworks. So if you're having problems finding those where you're at too, those subs look great. This is a piece of 36 count vintage country mocha that I've got, because that's what it calls for, and it won't fit if I stitch it on anything else. And I had this in my stash, but it's darker. You know, it has the pattern on there. Can y'all see that? So I'm stitching it on the back side, so it'll show up like this. So I got me some ugly 3-time magnifying, and it seems to be going okay. Stitching with the 1 thread, it's very pretty, very smooth and all, but I wasn't sure if I could do it, but so far so good. So this is the bird's body, and then he has the little, what are they, eyelets? no, Smyrna crosses, I think, for his wing. So I've got his body done, and I have to do the Smyrna crosses for his wing. But I started that this week. This was my start too for Memorial Day. So, but it's stitching up pretty quick. There's not a lot to it. So I am having a lot of fun with that guy. And I think that's all my whips. Now, so we need to announce these. This week's shares, before I forget to say it, because I'm famous for saying it, we're going to do Quilters Cottage and if I can read my own writing. And So She Did. We're gonna do we're gonna have fat quarter shop share today. So Quilters Cottage and So She Did. So if you are interested in stitching Quilters Cottage, use the word quilt. I'll make that here, mark this here so I'll remember. And if you're interested in this share, use the word sew. So we'll do, those are the shares for this week. So use quilt or sew if you're interested in those two. And then we have the shares from last week. Here we go. So, and this one, I did not realize, there's a little card in there. So the little polar bear. So y'all message me at, email me at NissyLynn@Yahoo and let me know your address. It's where to send these. Polar bear is Rhonda LaFleur. Rhonda LaFleur. You got polar bear. The Prairie Schooler Santa is Melissa Graham. Melissa Graham. So y'all email me. And then this beautiful P. Buckley Moss little girl here is Faith Slagle. Faith Slagle. And then the very last one is going to go with Traveling, because this is Silent Night, and it goes to Viv's Crafts, and Viv is in Australia. So y'all email me your address so I can get these headed out to y'all. And then the very last one is coming from Australia. We're Australian it up today. I had stitched this, a Tisket a Tasket. This is my Tisket a Tasket. And Lenore had stitched her a Tisket a Tasket. And we had talked about doing a pattern like a flat Stanley and seeing where it would go, where all it would go. So it would go on to the next stitcher, and then they would put a little note in there about their self and send it on like a round robin, but Flat Stanley is the fun kids book like that. See where he went. So Lenore said, if you will do a drawing, then I'll send it on to somebody, and then they can stitch it and send it on, and they can stitch it and send it on, and we'll see where all this little bird goes to. And so we talked about a hashtag, and so the hashtag is going to be a Tisket a Tasket. I stitched it and I passed it. And don't think of like a kidney stone, okay? But it goes to Dolores Ringley. Dolores Ringley. If you will contact me with your address, I'll send it on to Lenore, and then she will get it in the mail to you and then stitch it and then let me know, and then we'll send it on to the next person, the next person, the next person. And be sure you use the hashtag so we can all watch and see where all it has gone to. But this is on, I think this is a 4-inch. I put mine on a 4-inch, and it's probably on 28 count. It's a 28 count dirty linen, and it fit right on the top of this little box here. So cute. So Dolores Ringley, Rhonda LaFleur, Melissa Graham, Faith Slagle, and Viv of Viv's Crafts. If y'all will holler and let me know your address so I can get that going. I finally got caught up on I think everything. So if you did not, give it a little bit to get there, but I think everybody should, I think even my thank you notes are caught up. Thank you notes, my everything, I think I'm all caught up. And I don't think I'm any busier than anybody else. I think I'm just kind of crazier and all over the place and I get overwhelmed and distracted sometimes, and I don't get things done. And I don't like that when I do that. So I think I'm all back where I need to be. And if not, holler and let me know, and we will figure out where something went, because everything should be on its way where it needs to be. So we are at 1 hour and 15 minutes. Lord have mercy. I know y'all tired of me today, but I think that's everything. Thank y'all so much for all y'all sweet gifts and happy mails and comments and messages. I appreciate it more than y'all know. Nobody, like I said, y'all are my stitchy sisters. So have a great Memorial Day weekend and enjoy your stitches.